Maybe a little bit of recency bias on my part, but to me, this Ashes of Creation live stream is one of the best ever. I would put it at number 2 right behind the Freehold stream personally. We got a full rundown of Caravans all the way down to the components, spells, and how the cargo system works. We got a lot more granularity on the hunting certificate system, which is now called Glint, and how that expands to the commodities vendor and caravans. We didn't see PvP, but we did learn more about how PvP will function with caravans. First, they had a reminder that Intrepid is doing a charity stream this weekend, and details will be shown on the screen. Moving on to the breakdown of the caravan stream, we learned that hunting certificates, which are the currency that most mobs drop when you kill them instead of gold like in most MMOs, is now officially called Glint. Glint has 6 tiers, which you can see on the screen. This is speculative, but I think we will see 6 tiers for gear as well. We have seen tier 5 gear before, so my assumption is tier 6 gear is legendary gear. Another new twist, besides there being 6 different tiers of hunting certificates that are now called Glint, is that these can be used to purchase commodities at a commodity vendor at the Hunter's Lodge in each node. These commodities can be sold for a gold value at that node, or you can put them in the cargo of your caravan and sell them for a much higher price at another node. This cargo appears to only be available to be transported by caravans. You cannot load it onto your character and transport it. So to me, this is another big draw to push the use of caravans. And to me, what this really is the Ashes version of the ArcAge trade packs. In ArcAge, you created trade packs using various crafting materials, and the items you create are not used for anything other than being used to sell them to a vendor for gold. So really, the Glint to commodity to gold conversion is just a new take on that trade pack system. So the spreadsheets that you might be familiar with from ArcAge might be a common thing in Ashes as well, except with a new twist in that the prices will vary based on the amount of each commodity turned in at the turn-in location in the last 7 days, and not just be a static price. And you can of course transport regular materials using caravans as well, not just the Glint commodities. Steven did also mention that materials will be unique to areas, which is something that we basically already knew, but that will be a huge draw to using caravans as well, as you will need to move these materials where they are needed. And the Glint commodities are a massive draw because just moving these to the next nearest node saw the commodities value increase by roughly 5.7. So imagine how much a further node might increase the value as well. So in my opinion, there's definitely not going to be a shortage of reasons to run caravans. We also learned more about the caravansary and the Caravan Master NPC. Here you have 2 caravan slots. You can purchase a caravan for each slot. Then we learned about the caravan components, which can be slotted and increase the caravan stats. The current caravan components are body armor, chassis, wheel set, and beast of burden. These are the components Steven used in the demonstration. There are also slots for skills. Steven slotted 2 skills. One was a big AoE knockback, and the other a large AoE heal. The chassis component can increase the carrying capacity of the caravan. In this demonstration, the default caravan was the 2x1 Tetris inventory grid, and the chassis, when upgraded, converted it to a 5x2 inventory. All of these components will have trade-offs in terms of how you build your caravan. You could build a very fast but not very durable caravan, or you could build a very durable but slow caravan, but probably not both. All these components and skills have durability. They will be destroyed if the caravan is destroyed, and they can be even damaged and destroyed if the caravan is not fully destroyed. Steven even said that the direction that the caravan takes damage might determine what components take damage. Then we saw the method for launching your caravan. When loading your caravan with cargo and components and then selecting launch, you then receive an item in your inventory and can then launch the caravan anywhere within the radius of the node. The caravan build process takes 2 minutes, and there is a notification that is sent out within a radius of the build process, and an event notification pops up anytime people get near your caravan at any point. This radius can be affected by a multitude of things, including a player's progression in the Highwayman system, which is a new progression system we have not heard of before, and players can also affect the radius of the caravan announcement via components that are slotted. This radius can be increased or decreased using these processes. Also, you can combine several caravan events into one big raid. raid. The raid size is 40, so in theory up to 40 caravans could be combined this way. Further, we learned that you can summon an empty caravan anywhere in the world. So let's say you're out gathering or farming mobs and want to transport a lot of things back to your node, or you just destroyed a caravan and want to return the stolen goods to a node. In either case, you can summon an empty caravan to your location. The time to summon it will vary based on the distance from the node to your location and things like the relics and policies of the node. I think this is a huge improvement to the caravan system, at least on paper, and I was really happy to hear that one. As for who can pilot your caravan, the owner can create a list of friends that can drive it. Anyone can drive your caravan unless you set this permission up. The driver gets a buff that prevents CC and a large increase to damage mitigation. So killing the driver of the caravan is possible, but it will take a long time. If the driver is killed, anyone can drive the caravan. The caravan will desummon if there is no driver for 15 minutes and become wreckage that can be looted, which will have the same rules as if destroyed in PvP. Once summoned, the caravans in this demonstration were pretty slow, so you certainly will want escorts. The roads do provide a buff to run speed, which mayors can upgrade via policies or relics. Bridges can be upgraded as well. In this demo, the bridge did not have the speed upgrade like the road did. They also wanted to show the caravan transition to water as a raft, hence the rivers hint at the end of the last live stream. But they said it was bugged, so it wasn't shown. However, Steven did explain more about how the transition works. There's a timer during the transition where the caravan will be vulnerable, but after that, the caravan can take advantage of currents to move faster. Because the raft was bugged and not shown, they instead went across the bridge, which did not have the speed upgrade like roads had, but again, this is something that can be upgraded by the mayor of the node. We also saw an example of an event that can trigger based on the presence of a caravan. In this case, an immovable tree blocked the road path. Then we saw that as you get close to a node, your caravan slows down, and once inside the finish line, there's a 10-second cooldown before the caravan event is finished. Then we see the turn-in at the Miraleth node and the big increase to the value of the goods. Also, do note that you can simply keep these goods in your warehouse storage for that node and sell them later if the price increases due to things like the other node being destroyed or less people turning in certain items. Or you can take them on another caravan to a further node and get more return for your Glint investment. And of course, the Miraleth node has its own bespoke commodities that you can purchase as well. We did not see PvP in this demonstration, but Steven did talk about how it will work. If a caravan is destroyed, it creates a wreckage. The Glint commodity remains, but a portion of it is lost when the caravan is destroyed. Players cannot transport these commodities, so you will need to summon a caravan to transport them. Or you can destroy the cargo crates in which more of the materials are destroyed and then transport them if you do not want to wait for a caravan. Regular materials and Glint become stolen materials or Glint, and you can only redeem these at black markets and nodes that have these built. Caravan insurance was talked about in the past and is no longer a part of the caravan system, at least for now. And that is all for the caravans. A couple more things of note. Margaret hinted that a quarter announcement for the Alpha 2 might happen in the next stream. Also, Margaret said that her team might do a server-based news update after the game launches, which sounds like a really interesting idea. I know some content creators have talked about doing that, but if Intrepid Studios did it, I think that would be pretty interesting. Again, this stream reiterates that you're going to have a better time if you are in a guild when it comes to Ashes of Creation. I have plenty of spots available in my Genesis guild still, but we are growing at a steady rate, so that will not always be the case. If interested in the guild, the links are in the description. That's all I have for this update. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.